we come in this world with nothing and we leave with nothing.
Yeah, I'd got it in the back of my mind. One day I'm going to have this book bus, and it seemed like a pipeline dream, knowing that I didn't want the traditional kind of lifestyle. I was never interested in getting married. I ummed and ahed whether I even wanted kids or not. The human race wouldn't progress if people didn't say, well, what about if we tried it this way? I had got these high expectations. I'd expect to get 100 things done in a day, and I'd do 99 and then berate myself for the one thing I've not done, not celebrate the 99 things I had.
Yeah.
This is the thing. So before Bus Different, I set up a whole platform which is called A Different Human Design, which is ADHD. My Unread Chapter is definitely all those times that I put up with being treated like so poorly, and I just accepted it. And it's like, I suppose I've buried those chapters deep because I'm ashamed of who I was at that time. Like, how did that person allow those things to be said to her and be done to her and not stand up for myself?
Today's guest is the definition of unstoppable. She's known online for openly sharing her ADHD journey, but this is not just another creator story. After selling the home she shared with her brother, she took a bold leap and bought a bus, a full-size bus. She passed her HGV licence, converted herself, and now lives and travels her very own mobile home. She's raw, she's real, and represents everything the Unread Chapter stands for, misunderstood by some, empowered by her truth. Let's dive into the world of freedom, mental health, and the power of doing life your own way. This is Lindzi. How are you, Lindzi?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Yeah, keeping busy. I've heard you've been busy with quite a lot lately.
I certainly have.
A lot of exciting things going on about your bus. Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, the journey has definitely begun on the road now.
So you swapped the home life to live on the road, life in the lay-by. How is that going? Wow.
It's been a very, very steep learning curve.
Yeah.
But overall, I've really, really enjoyed it. You know, you'd think it'd be a huge change going from living in bricks and mortar to living in a bus anyway, and then being nomadic, not having anywhere to stop for longer than a day at a time. So it's certainly been a big change, but I've really enjoyed it.
I think as well, like what you've done is absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
And I think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but is it broaden your mind that you can do anything?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, the whole process of converting it, I started it without a clue, you know, no DIY experience. I'd not really even done a proper plan, you know, I'd just kind of gone for it. The initial thing of I'm going to buy a bus took over everything, and then suddenly I'd got the bus, and then now I've got to take the next steps. So my confidence compared to where I was at a year ago, 2 years ago, it's like I'm a different person.
Oh, yeah. It's rewarding, isn't it? You know, like what you've done is absolutely amazing. You know, and I think now you must feel like you can literally do anything now. You know, living life off the cuff. That's what I always say anyway, you know.
It's a strange feeling because it was my dream, and now it's like I've done that part now.
Yeah.
So it's quite freeing in that respect, because it's like, what do I want to do next? Obviously I want to enjoy what I've created for a little bit before I start to throw myself into other projects.
So what's your journey now with the bus? I know you're going from lay-by to lay-by at the moment. So you've got some festivals. You've done Tough Mudder.
Yeah. So I've done, I think, 3 festivals this summer, and a couple of events as well. Some were just really small community events, but the plan was, this was the yes year. So get out there, get to the festivals, show the bus off, grow the exposure, because it's actually like a free book bus as well.
Okay.
So anywhere that I go, we're giving out free books, free literature.
So how do you get these books? Are you funding these books yourself, or is someone
just all
helping?
donations?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I started collecting boxes of books when I still lived in the house with my brother, because I'd got it in the back of my mind. One day I'm going to have this book bus, and it seemed like a pipeline dream. But just in case, I was actually hoarding books in the background, just in case. So I'd got quite a good collection. And then every time something like this, you know, goes online, or I get like another influx of people saying, do you need more books? I've got books. So for me, it's providing that sustainability aspect.
Yeah.
Charity shops quite often won't take any more books if they've got, you know, too many to sell. Libraries are quite picky about what books they'll accept. So it's another place to donate them to.
Do you know, I haven't seen a library in years. I didn't even know there was still a library.
Well, this was part of the reason of doing it as a book bus, because a lot of libraries got their funding pulled, and they became either community ran by volunteers or they shut down. So the book bus, in my mind, it's mobile. It can go to different communities. It can provide a service where there's one missing.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I've done it exciting inside to try and encourage young people back into reading as well.
So you're bringing the library back to the communities of wherever you land in the lay-by of what area.
Exactly. The lay-by life came about because I'm a teacher, so I'm off on the summer holidays.
Oh, wow, okay.
And I was trying to find a campsite to stay at, and they were just all turning me down, saying they didn't want such a big vehicle on site, which was a problem I didn't expect to come across. I thought campsites were for any mobile vehicle.
Yeah.
Turns out they're not. So the lay-by thing was forced upon me in a way, but I'm so glad, because it meant that I was out there in the bus getting the driving experience, getting a whole load of other experiences.
It is a sizable vehicle though, isn't it? 'Cause, you know, like, I'm sorry, but, you know.
Big, massive double decker.
What do you charge someone to bring that on a campsite, you know?
Well, yeah, I suppose. And I think with it having the upstairs, they're worried about privacy of the other mobile homes. They don't want someone overlooking. But I am off grid, so if anyone's watching this, I am off grid. You can put me anywhere.
Yeah, okay, really find you by the coordinates somewhere. Yeah, like that. You know, the book when I was out was Where's Wally?
Oh,
I
yeah,
absolutely love that book. Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should rewrite that. Like, where's Bus different?
Yeah.
Where's Lindsay?
Do you know, that's not a bad idea. Where's Wally? But it's like, you know, Lindsay in a bus. Where's Lindsay now?
That would be a good little promo, wouldn't it, for
I
the
think
bus?
you should look into that. But in terms of the book and that, if you got like a website that maybe anyone can help contribute because of what you're doing there.
Yeah, so my website is adifferenthumandesign.co.uk. But /bus different will take you specifically there, but that takes you to the website, and then there's a page for Bus Different. It's got where the scheduled stops, the stops that we've been at, and the photos and things from there. So if anybody's seen us, they can go see if they're featured on our photos afterwards.
Okay, well, what would you say it was in your journey that made you want to do what you're doing now?
Do you know, I think I've always known that I didn't want the traditional kind of lifestyle. I was never interested in getting married. I ummed and ahed whether I even wanted kids or not. And then I actually stopped drinking. So I decided to challenge myself to a year off alcohol.
Okay.
And it was that same year that the bus stuff all came through. So I feel like they were connected in the sense that the minute I started to take a bit of direction with my life and take it a bit more seriously, the doors opened up for my dreams to start coming true then. And yeah, so I wasn't drinking. I was thinking with a clear mind. I was starting to look around at my peer group and think a lot of them are settling down, but what am I going to do with my life? If you're going to make these big choices to not have a family, then you've got to find a focus. Yeah. So I just made that initial decision where it was like, right, I'm gonna buy the bus. I'm gonna convert a bus. I always wanted a bus, right, from when I was younger. It is in the back of my mind, so it wasn't completely random. But it was just that realization that I could do this and I could make it happen, and then it just all kind of came from there.
You found your purpose. Yeah. You found something that you love doing.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think when you find something that you truly love doing, it makes life more enjoyable, doesn't it?
Yeah. I feel like as well, the universe helps you along your way in your journey. If you're kind of doing the steps that are towards something that you want to achieve, it's almost like the right doors open, the little nudges happen to get you onto the right path. So it got easier. The further I got into the journey, the more opportunities were coming through.
Yeah. Now, what would you say has been your biggest challenge?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest challenge is because I have these big ideas and I go into it and I expect it to be done overnight. So it's my whole mindset has had to change in this last 2 years. So I've definitely slowed down, got a bit more patient, started to celebrate each mini win rather than get frustrated that the big win that I'm aiming for isn't here yet. So I think challenge-wise was definitely keeping the focus and the mindset and not just saying, right, I've had one little obstacle, that's it, I'm giving up. There was a lot of really testing times.
So how I'm seeing this is you had a vision. You knew what you wanted.
Yeah.
And you never lost sight of that.
Yeah.
So every challenge that you faced, you kept going.
Exactly.
You never let go of that vision.
Yeah, came back to the vision. Yeah. I mean, all my life, I've never been afraid to, if something's not working out, to say, okay, give it a good go, and I'll move on. So I think it's getting that balance right between knowing when to draw the line and say enough is enough and when to keep pushing and digging deep. And I think that comes down to how badly you want something.
Yeah.
But I think I've had to adjust where the vision was going. Because like even this campsite thing, I thought, I'll just live campsite to campsite. And then it's become apparent quite quickly that that's not going to be the case.
Yeah.
So I've already had to think, well, what else can I do? Where else can I stay in this huge vehicle? Yeah. But it's helpful with it being a book bus as well. There's that attraction. Businesses like pubs, for example. I'm staying on a few pub car parks coming up because I've got a community asset as well. So it's like I can collaborate with places. So that's been a real benefit.
Yeah, a free wine now and again from the friendly local.
Yeah.
Okay, so your end goal for yourself and the bus.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself? Is this like going to be a little bit of maybe a short journey, maybe another year, 2 year, or?
I think I'd like to do next year. I'd like to definitely travel the UK again. Okay. I could see in future maybe exploring Europe a little bit. I think that'd be a cool road trip. So I've got that in the back of my mind, maybe to go to Europe. I think the end goal would potentially, I'd probably park the bus up and it not become mobile anymore and rent it out as a Airbnb or something like that. Yeah. So I've kind of got these 5-year visions if things didn't work out, plan A, B and C. But I really want to develop my offerings in terms of like mental health and self-discovery and do workshops actually on the bus, festivals with the bus being the main kind of focus, central point, building festivals around that and those key themes, whether it's reading or finding who you are, chasing your dreams down.
Yeah, I like that. I think you'd be really good at that. And obviously you've got a niche for what you do. You're a good people person. You mentioned ADHD and I in January found out I had it. I always knew I was different some way.
Yeah.
And I feel like I belong somewhere now.
Yeah, wicked.
I mastered my gift years ago.
Yeah.
But now I know.
Yeah. This is the thing, though. You're different, don't you? It's a really strange place to be because I've always been told my whole life that I'm different.
Yeah.
And yet when I started to say, I think I might be ADHD, a lot of people pushed back saying, no, there's nothing wrong with you. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with me. I don't think that ADHD is being wrong. It's just a different type of person. Yeah, but it was really strange, that kind of pushback with people then saying, oh, no, you're absolutely fine, you're normal. It's like, well, make your mind up because, 2 minutes ago you were saying that I'm different. So
yeah, it's a gift, isn't it? You've got a visionary mindset.
Yeah.
Like I always say, I'm a forward thinker. I need to, I analyse things a lot.
Yeah, yeah. You find the patterns and things.
Yeah. We do things a little bit differently and...
It's necessary though, isn't it?
Yeah.
The human race wouldn't progress if people didn't say, well, what about if we tried it this way?
Yeah. No, I think it's amazing what you do with like the bus, and you're talking about the ADHD and you work with young adults.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
So how does that fit in with the bus right now when...
Well, I'll be going back to teaching in September. So So the bus life in itself will be parked up for a little bit because I'll be
In the
going back
school
into the
car
classroom.
park.
Yeah, most likely. So yeah, I'm coming back to school.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
But the young people, they'll come onto the bus and they'll do their lessons on there. It's a bit of a change of scene for them.
Yeah.
They're not a majority. I've had one in a long time that enjoyed reading. A majority don't enjoy reading. So my aim is trying to just bring that enthusiasm for that. You might not have found the book that you enjoy yet, but there's so much variety out there. It might be that you enjoy non-fiction, or so, you know, getting them on the bus and getting them to explore the library will definitely be a part of that. And they were helping me with the conversion as well, the young people were. So
Amazing.
it was nice to get them involved.
Now, have you ever, like, obviously you've got like the bus and you've got the ADHD and like with young men and children, like, you know, obviously I've had it since I was a child. But young adults, men, women, you know, what advice would you give to young men and women out there who have it? Like, I know some who've reached out to me. Who have got it, and there's not much support out there for them right now. And a few have reached out to me, and it's really touched me there, you know, because there's nothing, and there's a long list to seek help. Yeah,
there's definitely. This is the thing. So before Bus Different, I set up a whole platform which is called A Different Human Design, which is ADHD, but A Different Human Design. So I set that up as a way of providing an information and service, so signposting to good initiatives and providing resources, because in terms of like the advice I would say is to the more knowledge you can get, the better. Because not everything's going to relate to you and not everything's going to be helpful for you. So the wider that variety of information that you can gather for yourself, the better. And when I was first doing my kind of exploration journey of like, well, what does ADHD mean? Just coming across things like rejection sensitivity and understanding that in the past, breakdowns in relationships, I may have taken things personally that were never meant to be taken personally. And it made me feel seen for the first time in my life, that I wasn't just a problem and that I hadn't got these overreactions that couldn't be explained, that actually there's this whole group of people that suffer with rejection sensitivity. And it just made me feel more in control of it just because I'd given it a name. So I think my biggest advice for anybody is to go on that self-discovery journey and try and do it with a bit of humor. You know, try not to take it too seriously in a sense, because I think if you can bring humor into it and laugh at yourself and be a bit more compassionate towards yourself. Like my internal voice was very harsh on myself. So I was always kind to others and very tolerant of others, but myself I was very impatient with. I had got these high expectations. I'd expect to get 100 things done in a day, and I'd do 99 and then berate myself for the one thing I've not done, not celebrate the 99 things I had. So just turning that internal dialogue definitely improved my whole experience of being ADHD.
So spinning plates is what I call it. Spinning plates and wearing many hats to try and get everything done. I can do that, and then all of a sudden, I hear you there. Now, what part of your journey are you most proud of, but really talk about?
I mean, the bus is something I'm super proud of because there's so many elements of it, like getting the license, you know, just I'm not very good at, I hate making phone calls. I suppose it's part of the ADHD. It's like I'll do all the things I love, all the creative things, all the things that I get enjoyment from, and then I'll put off making that phone call to the electrician and tying in those details. So the bus for me had so many elements of that, and I overcame those, and it does make me super, super proud, because it's like it took a lot of like inner strength to bring myself through that. But I always joke that with ADHD. Like, I went to pick up my car earlier and I'd washed it. I'd forgotten that I'd washed it. Something like that makes me so proud of myself. Like, I have washed my car. And it's because I'm used to achieving huge things, but managing the small things in my life, getting on top of my washing, you know, it's like...
I in work, this is quite funny actually. So obviously I was in work and doing payments, someone else was doing them, and I thought, well, I'll pick up where they are. And I got an email saying, "Hi Leanne, just letting you know, I'm sure this was paid." So I was looking and I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, you've been overpaid," you know. So, but yeah, but I'm on the ball with work all the time. But with ADHD, it's certain calls, isn't it?
Yeah,
you want the fun stuff all the time.
Yeah,
to
definitely.
have a balance.
Yeah.
You need a balance.
People say it's an attention deficit, and it's like, it's not really, because I've got a lot of attention. It's just finding I can attend to things I want to attend to really easily, but the things that I don't want to attend to, that's what I find really tricky.
Yeah. Would you say that people underestimated you?
It's a tough one, actually, because even from when I was younger, people always saw something in me where I was the one that they'd be like, "Oh, that girl's going to go far," or, you know, she's got something about her, she's going to make something of her life. And then I think after school that kind of dropped off, and I was, you know, under the radar a little bit, and I was just doing the normal thing. There was definitely that split in the path where I made a choice in my head, like, do you just want to be normal, or do you want to go for it and, like, you know, live out all of your dreams? Like, for example, there was a time when I was in Magaluf, the holiday had come to an end, and in my head I'm like, but I'm not ready to go home. I'd got the rest of the summer holidays, and I had this momentary thing where it's like, well, you could just go home, but you're going back to the same old, or you could stay here for 5 weeks. And I did it. I just stayed. And I think from that moment, people started to realise then, like, she's a bit unpredictable. But saying that, a lot of people came through once I'd got the bus saying, "Oh, you always said that you were going to get a bus. I never thought you would." So it just shows people were still underestimating, you know, that I would actually do it, or that I'd be capable of pulling it off.
Life is a journey, isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah, without a doubt.
It's full of lots of unread chapters. Now, if I was to ask you, okay, what is your unread chapter, and how would you describe your unread chapter? So
my unread chapter is in, like, a story that the part of my life I've not shared, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would say, my unread chapter is probably all of my mistakes that I've ever made in relationships. That seems to be the area that I've never done well in. And I've always kind of outshone in every area. But then when I look back at, like, that side of my life, like, I'm still single now, you know, I'm happy being single.
You're happy as you are.
Yeah, but my unread chapter is definitely all those times that I put up with being treated, like, so poorly, and I just accepted it. And it's like, I suppose I've buried those chapters deep because I'm ashamed of who I was at that time. Like, how did that person allow those things to be said to her and be done to her, and not stand up for myself? But I've developed from that, you know.
I think that comes from happiness, because you just want to be happy, don't you?
Yeah.
And I always say, like, you know, we weren't born with an instruction manual.
Yeah.
You know, we had to figure life out ourselves. And, like, I feel like myself, like, you know, as you get older, you know, so all of a sudden something clicks, and you know, you feel like you belong somewhere. Especially me this year with ADHD. But life is a journey.
Yeah, it's you're never going to get to that destination, are you? You think one of the things I try and say to people is, don't fall into that trap of, I'll do that when this falls into place. It's like, because that thing might never fall into place, and that thing might not fall into place until you do the thing that makes you happy. So, you know, don't put anything off. Just go for it and enjoy it.
Yeah, massively. Like I always say as well, another one, I mean, I've got many. I'm sure you have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, but like we come in this world with nothing and we leave with nothing.
Yeah.
And I always pushed myself and that. And I'm like, what am I racing for?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
why am I doing this and, you know, pushing, slow down, hamster wheel, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's just appreciating yourself. And I
Yeah,
think that's what
definitely.
you need to do, Lindsay, because I think you're super amazing in what you're doing with the bus, especially the books as
Yeah,
well. And I
yeah.
think you've got time for people. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I come across you on TikTok and I was like, wow, she's some lady
Oh,
to
thanks.
have the guts to just go, well, I'm taking half of my money for the sale of that house and I'm buying a bus and I'm
Yeah.
going to live life off the grid and just
Yeah.
lay by to lay by. But you're meeting loads of different people.
And hopefully in the process it's giving other people a bit of a like a boost to if they're just considering, oh, shall I go for it? It's like, just go for it,
Just
you
do
know.
it. You'll never
You
know.
yeah, exactly. And
You know.
I'd rather do it and fail than not try, because then you're
Yeah.
going to be living with that regret of what might have happened and not knowing.
Yeah.
So I'd much rather, even if it went wrong, I would be happier knowing that I'd give it a go.
Well, I admire you for that. And the bus must cost you a fortune to keep it running. 'Cause I did look and I went, wow. I seen you had a little accident on the motorway.
Well, yeah, the big
chipping on the window
yeah,
screen.
yeah, that was a nightmare. Again, though, I'm a massive believer that we're sent things to develop the skills that we need to keep going on that journey. And that morning, this guy had come over and he'd been telling me about his motorhome and this problem and that problem. And as he was telling me, I was thinking, gosh, if I'd had all those problems, I think I'd have gave up, you know?
Yeah.
And then something went, yeah, but you have had it super smooth. There may be more problems in the future. And on that drive home, my brakes packed in, and then the window screen got chipped.
Oh no.
And it was like that conversation with that guy had happened to prepare me that things are going to happen and you're going to have to overcome them.
Yeah.
And I did overcome it. It only took a few different days going to the garage, going to different repair workshops. And in that time, I just kept reminding myself, this is just a test. They're just lessons. It's just opportunities to grow your skills. This isn't a case of why me? Why did this have to happen? This is a case of, okay, you've given me this opportunity now to develop this skill, and that's how I'm going to see it.
Yeah.
And that outlook has changed me from somebody that has like regular breakdowns to one a year. So
Yeah. Oh, that's not bad, is it? Yeah. You're super strong. You're a swimmer, not a sinker,
Yeah,
and you keep
definitely.
going no matter what because you're holding on to the vision in sight, and you know you're having fun along the way.
yeah.
And that's the main thing. Like, you know, you could be in a job or whatever you don't like or whatever, and it's the same old Groundhog Day, waking 9 till 5. You know, as I always say, you know. But like, I think what you're doing is amazing,
Thanks.
and I think your website deserves a shout out for anyone that can do some support, you know. What's it
So it's
again?
A Different Human Design. So it's www.adifferenthumandesign.co.uk. And on there's the resources that I mentioned about how I wanted to create these information pools that were written by an ADHD person,
Okay.
you know, for an ADHD person, rather than all these negative lists of you can't do this and you'll find this difficult. It's a much broader perspective. These are the things you might find super easy and these are the things that you might need support with.
So it's navigating them in where they feel they may fit.
Exactly. There's a couple of guides on there. One's to do with the basic 5 senses, one's to do with anxiety, and they're just presented in a more relatable way than a kind of very boring leaflet that you might get given by your doctor. But there's like a signposting page on there because I realised, again, I wanted to do it all. So it's like we've tried to do coffee mornings and clubs and things, but we were just spreading ourselves too thin.
Yeah.
So there's a signposting page now. Anytime we hear about an initiative that's offering something, a space or exercise, whatever it is, it goes on there. So we want to build this kind of one-stop place to go when you know you initially get your diagnosis or you suspect your ADHD. You can go there and you can go from there to all the different avenues.
The one-stop bus for
That's
all
quite
the
cool, actually,
advice
yeah.
of what you need.
Yeah.
You know, like obviously ADHD. Like I don't know about you, but how do you find instruction manuals?
Like as though they're written in a different language. So if someone verbalizes instructs me, I'm like, yep, and I'm trying to take them all in. And say you pull up to them and you say, oh, how do I get? And they say, you go down here, go left, and then when I drive off, I'm like, I've got no idea what they said.
Yeah.
And then the same with written instructions. I have to read it, digest it, perhaps leave it a day, and then come back to it. But saying that, I quite like, flat pack furniture. I'll get it all out, get everything out in piles, and I will happily work through stage by stage. I'm quite methodical like that.
Yeah.
And my patience these days would allow it. When I was a bit younger, my patience, I don't know, I'd have got halfway through and then smashed it up.
Yeah. I did find that I'd read them, but I find
Can't
that I
take
get
them in.
bored and see, I'd rather be like told, shown.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
yeah.
I remember like I've put beds together and things like that. I'm quite, I can do
handy.
quite a lot, yeah. And I put a bed together and you get loads of screws. It's from IKEA.
Yeah.
But I put it together properly,
Yeah.
but there was 4 screws left and I was like, well,
Oh, God.
where are they? Where do they go? Have I put something together wrong?
Yeah.
The guest's going to be on the floor. But
That's the analogy for life, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you've put it all together and there's 4 screws left
Well,
over. What do you do with them?
they must have.
Just keep them forever. Like,
Yeah.
these are the spare screws from the bed.
They must put spares in, mustn't they? Because there's always something missing or
Yeah.
a screw hole, and you've got to put your own screw hole in and things like that. You're going back to the school in September.
Yeah. I mean, I am looking forward to going back and seeing the students, and because there'll be some returning from last year and getting that structure back. I think I need time to reflect on how the summer living lay-by to lay-by has gone, how the events have gone, and think about what festivals to pitch to next year. So there's a lot of lessons to be learned and things to digest to work out what to do next. A lot of people keep saying like, well, what's the business plan behind it? How do you make money? I'm like, I just don't at the minute. I'm just been so keen to get it on the road and to help people. That's the bit I really struggle with. I'm like, I don't want to charge money for this. It's really hard.
I think you need some sort of funds and support, don't you, in what you're doing, because you're giving back to all different communities. You're not just based at one community. You're going lay-by
Here,
to
there,
lay-by
everywhere.
and then end up in a different district.
Yeah.
And, before you know, the whole UK will know you anyway. They probably do now anyway, because I came across you. So I was like, wow, she's crazy and I love it. You know what I
This is
mean?
it.
But
I'm sure there are funding parts, but again, being ADHD, it's like the application to apply for them is like a day's work, and it's not the kind of day's work I can do. So I think next year maybe even perhaps look at the idea of a business manager or something, take over all the boring bits for me.
Yeah. No, I think it's super amazing what you do. And like, is there anything you would like to talk about at the minute now? Anything you feel you would like to say?
Well, I think my main message has and always will be that I just want people to be their best selves. So if anybody out there is feeling down or feeling like they're not good enough, I think, come over to the website and see if you can connect with me and the people that I work with. But I'm just I just want people to reach their full potential. So, if anyone is watching it and they are comparing themselves to other people on social media, just know that you have got your own unique, beautiful light within, and you've just got to kind of discover it for yourself. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on board.
It's been really nice to talk about the project. Thank you.
I'm going to have a look at those books, the variation ones that you've got. I'm intrigued to have a look, and I'll have a look at your website as well.
Yeah, wicked.
If there's anyone, as I say, I can send your way to help support yourself and obviously keep you going, because it comes to a time where we run out of things, resources, and we want to keep doing what we're doing and giving back to the community,
definitely.
but we all hit a wall. So I think if people all help, people help the people, as I always say.
Yeah, there's a lot of
then
power
it
in
will
people,
help
isn't
you
there?
continue what you're doing and doing what you love and giving back to
Thank you.
the people out there.
I appreciate it.
Well, I'd like to say thank you very much for tuning in to the Unread Chapter. Make sure you give us a comment and a like and subscribe. See you again soon. Bye, guys.